In 2010, I was bedridden and my daughter was born. It was one of those years that my wife and I think back on, and the coolest thing is we think back on with a lot of fondness, even though it was probably one of the most difficult times that we went through. In 2010, I was about at 115 pounds, 110 to 15 pounds, barely hanging on. I was in the middle of a very, very intense Crohn's flare-up that was totally incapacitating me. Now, what's really cool was I had a job that allowed me the flexibility to heal if I were to allow myself to. I didn't understand what to do at that point in time. I was actually on lots of medications trying to fix this, which really were kind of perpetuating the problem. But I was a professor, so I'd actually get up and go teach my classes. I never missed a class. And so the joke even years later was I've missed classes for a cold, the common cold, but I've never missed because of the Crohn's. And it's true until last year, but that's another whole story. So I was bedridden. I was not a lot of help. We have 2 toddlers running around the house, plus a new baby. Not to mention we're living in a house built in 1893 that we're restoring, or I'm restoring, and there's no showers, and she just had a C-section. Life was really difficult. It was very bleak. We were in the middle of all sorts of remodel projects, and again, I was not able to finish the shower, and we were kind of hopeless. There was a lot of joy. We just had our daughter. I'd had 2 sons and now a daughter, and it was so much joy, but also so much fear of the unknown. What's going to happen? What took a little while, thought was going to take just a little while, it took 1.5 years for me to finally get back on my feet. Well, what we did was amazing. It was actually key people that came into our life during that time. A physical therapist who had a background in naturopath that actually taught us how to understand my gut and how to feel through massage to figure out what's wrong and undo it. And all of a sudden, my gut's moving again. And some of like when it was impacted, it was incredible. And I've had doctors tell me that's not possible. And sorry, I beg to differ, because we still use that same technique today when things get flared up, which means they close up. This was a difficult time. And part of what I would do is I would actually go to Netflix. I'd go watch TV shows. And I remember one day my wife walking in going, when are you going to fill your brain with something a little more positive? And I didn't like that. I remember internally going, don't you tell me what to do. And then realizing she's so right. And that what I put in my mind actually affects my mood and my heart and my hope. And she was so right, such an encourager. But then we actually then met Dr. Goldberg, the Goldberg Clinic in Atlanta, where we were able to get off all steroids and medications and actually start learning to heal. Part of that journey was, again, a long journey, but it was eating fish and rice every day and being very careful, kind of like putting my gut in a cast. But really what the cool part was is we were journeying together as a couple. And I went from bedridden and 115 pounds to now I ride a Harley every day to work. I go backpacking, I go skiing, snowboarding, and do adventures I never thought I'd be able to do. Because we started paying attention to my body, and my wife learning how to hear things when I couldn't and see things when I couldn't, because there's a certain point in time when you're just so foggy brained you can't think for yourself. Many of you know what I'm talking about. But this was a lot of hope, full of hope. So when we look back on this time, what is so amazing is it's not full of horrible memories, because us as a couple, were strong. Finally getting off the steroids was a freeing thing, and actually to this day deal more with probably the steroids and the effects of those than anything else. I have found the 2 key things for me, and it's different for everyone, but it's been diet, so what I eat, and my levels of stress. And there's good stress and bad stress. There's just really unhealthy negative stress, and there's just the stress of being around a family or having responsibilities or work or finances, all those kind of things, but also having my partner. We saw extremely slow improvement, which is actually kind of hard too. And that's part of where people turn to the quick solutions oftentimes. And this really showed me that that's not what I want to do, and not necessarily the best answer is finding those quick solutions. We also saw that it was up to me to become an expert on my body and my health, and that's a critical part of hope. One of the miracles today is I can actually gain weight. That's just been incredible. to be able to actually gain weight and it kind of fluctuate, where before it was just constantly battling it to just barely stay at about 120, 125. And even during this last few months, I've had a lot of struggle with gaining weight because I'm sitting around too much and not being healthy, because it's all about a balance of exercise and food and all those things, as you know. But we are in a place of so much more hope because of managing stress and managing life. It's led to decisions, including for us homeschooling and other things, that actually help us minimize some of those stresses. So if this is something that's actually kind of pricking you, I'd love to talk to you. And the reason why is I bet there are questions you have about your health and about how you can actually have hope for your health, mental health and physical health, that we actually need to think through our brain and the way we think through things. We need to make a plan. That actually, for me, having the right people in my court were life-saving. Having good voices and healthy voices and confident voices and hopeful ones changed everything. Now, can that fix and cure everything? No, it can't, and I wish it could. But man, even if nothing changed, even if my health had continued to be bad, what was amazing was, and it did it for that year and a half, even with that, it was amazing to know that I had a partner, I had a best friend, and that we were journeying together. So if you're someone that wants to take back your life from unhealth, being unhappy and unsatisfied with almost all of your life and life choices, and you want to find your true self, healthy, strong, living your best life, I'd love to get on the phone. We could talk through kind of what a game plan could be. You can go to bookdrg.com, and we can actually book a time to talk. And I'd love to see you find what I have found, where I get to ride a Harley most every day, rain or shine. I love it. And I get to go do adventures with my family. And I actually feel healthy most all the time. And when those crises come, they tend to be really short versus long, drawn-out times that actually were kind of scary, actually very scary many times. So bless you, bless your family, bless your marriage, bless your health, and let's change things. Let's make your life better than you ever imagined. Thank you for tuning in to the Family Features Podcast. It has been an honor to serve. Find out more about Dr. Gilbert and his resources for you and your family's growth and success at healinglives.com. And if you think you could use some support along the way, be sure to book that call at bookdrg.com. And one more thing, if you found this helpful, please share this podcast with others so that we can change the world together.